Good afternoon, everyone. It is Miss Amy from Camden Public Library, and tomorrow, June 25th, is Eric Carle's birthday. So, I was reading about and investigating how he does his collages, and he actually uses tissue paper. I read on his blog. He paints huge pieces of tissue paper and tons of tissue paper, and he paints it all over on the floor, big and giant, and does all kinds of wonderful stuff. And so this is a piece of just regular standard tissue paper that I painted. It was an orange piece of tissue paper. I've painted orange on it and kind of a tangerine color and yellow, and I'm letting it dry. And then I could, this is a story. This is one of Eric Carle's stories, and we can make and cut out the petals and the leaves and do some others. So I'm gonna do this one while the orange dries. So here's a piece of green, and I'm just going to do some green. So painting, and I'm just kind of spreading it around, some different greens, and I'm just spreading it to give it texture, and I'm just all over, just to give it some cool patterns. Or there isn't even a pattern, it's really creating some cool textures and colors and blends of stuff. And so I'm gonna take a little bit, and I'm going to do some spatters, because he likes to do spatters. So there's some green spatter in here. So now I can let this dry, and I'm gonna do, and this is what I'm gonna use to make the leaves on this for that. And then what I'm gonna do is I have my just my multimedia art paper, and I'm gonna do some splatters like this. And you just need to make sure that you have space to and something to kind of catch it, because there is a lot of stuff in here. But see how it's kind of looking like Eric Carle's background paper here. And so I'm gonna take some blue, a little bit of blue in here. I want some different colors. Oh, I love spattered paper. I just think it is so pretty. And then I can even do this, just kind of put some, just kind of tap my brush around. It's really creating a cool background. I love it. Love it. So here we go. We have a cool background. I can now use this background to make the base for my tiny seed picture, I'm going to cut up some of this tissue paper. I'm going to cut this tissue paper to make my petals. So I'm going to go ahead and do. So I have actually folded that paper all up, and then I'm going to cut out some petals to make this sunflower like in the story about the tiny seed. And then see, I have these great petals. And the cool thing is, so I always wondered how Eric Carle did his illustrations, how he got them to come out. And now I know that he did them and collaged on colored paper. And that way you see the background too, which is so cool. So in the tiny seed in the center, in the story, you can't see in the center here, but on mine you can, and that's okay. So, oh, I really like this. So I am using this tissue paper, which is a great idea. I never would have thought to use tissue paper and to paint actually on tissue paper. So but look at the texture and look at the colors, and I love how the layering of it, you kind of see the background a little bit behind it, but you also get the overlay of the pieces of this together. You get them because you can see through, because of it being layered, because of all of these pieces being layered on here. I just, wow, all these years, and I never realized how he did this, because I guess I never really looked or tried to do it myself. But because his birthday is tomorrow, I was doing a little research and looking on the Eric Carle blog and looking to see how his art was done and how he did it. And I found a great interview, and I found some wonderful photographs of Eric Carle creating his beautiful, beautiful papers that he then used to create his art. So there is part of the sunflower, and then let's see, is it ready to go? Not really. Let me see. Here's the green paper, and I'm gonna cut out a couple of leafy shapes like this. Okay, I'm gonna cut a stem like this, so I get this beautiful stem, and then I can tuck that right in under there. So there's my stem, and then here's one of my leaves, and here is another leaf like that, and there you have a flower in the style of Eric Carle. And I could decide to fill this in, since I have just a few more of these left, and I could go right to the center or whatever. I can tuck these in and do it like that. Or I can just leave it blank in the middle. Happy creating. I hope you enjoy this and try these out. Try the style of Eric Carle celebrating his birthday and his talents and who he was and what he's given to children's literature and art over the years. Happy creating. Miss Amy.